Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will discuss a case of slipped capital femoral epiphysis. Case: a 12-year-old female presents complaining of right knee pain for 6 weeks. She is obese with a body mass index of 34 kg per meter square. She denies any injury or recent illness or infection. She does not have pain at rest or at night. Her mom noticed that she has been limping. Her knee examination is benign. She has no knee effusion and no tenderness, and both knees and patellofemoral joints are normally mobile. She walks with an antalgic gait on the right, with limited time in the stance phase on the affected side. Now the questions. Question number 1. The next focused examination should carefully assess which of the following: A. Spine, B. Hips, C. Ankle, D. Foot, E. Contralateral knee. And answer is B, that is hips. Skeletally immature patients who present with complaints of knee pain frequently have hip pathology. Hip pain is commonly referred to knee in children and adolescents. This referral can result in no complaints of hip pain in patients with serious hip pathology, and timely diagnosis is necessary to prevent significant complications. Thus, examiner should carefully examine the hips in every skeletally immature patient who presents complaining of knee pain, especially when the knee examination is unremarkable. Patient with hip pathology will most frequently have pain with hip provocation by internal rotation and will have increased hip or groin pain or weakness with active straight leg raising. Radiograph of the hip are indicated if physical examination is abnormal. Question number 2. This patient has very limited internal rotation of the right hip when supine and has pain at the end of the range of motion testing. She also has limited internal rotation of the left hip in supine position but does not complain of pain. Flexion of the right hip is possible only to 90 degrees and is accompanied by obligatory external rotation of the hip as thigh flexes. Which of the following represent the best next step in the evaluation? A. Blood work to assess for an inflammatory problem, that is CBC, ESR and CRP. B. AP radiograph of the right hip. C. AP radiograph of the pelvis. D. AP pelvis and frog lateral pelvis radiograph. E. MRI of the right hip. And correct answer is D, that is AP pelvis and frog lateral pelvis radiograph. Presentation of an obese child with knee pain, limp and painful limited internal rotation of the ipsilateral hip strongly suggests diagnosis of slipped capital femoral epiphysis. This is supported by the finding of obligatory external rotation of the hip with thigh flexion. This usually signifies impingement of the femoral neck on the anterior acetabulum. Slipped capital femoral epiphysis is a hip disorder that affects adolescents, most often males between 10 and 16 years of age, and involves failure of the physis and displacement of the femoral head relative to the neck. Risk factors include obesity, normal puberty, hypothyroidism, hypopituitarism, and renal osteodystrophy. It is bilateral in 60% of the cases, and left hip is affected more than the right. Diagnosis of slipped capital femoral epiphysis is radiographic and can be made at times on an anteroposterior view alone, but frog lateral radiograph of the hip is the most sensitive test. Thus, if it is suspected, a both lateral and frog lateral views should be ordered. Now, as up to 1/3 of the patient with this condition have a silent slip on the contralateral hip, it is recommended that both hips should be imaged. X-ray finding of slipped capital femoral epiphysis include widening and irregularity of the physis, decrease in epiphyseal height in the center of acetabulum, crescent-shaped area of increased density in the proximal portion of the femoral neck. Bland sign of Steele is a double density created from the anteriorly displaced femoral neck overlying the femoral head. Another important finding on X-ray is clean line. It is a straight line which is drawn along the superior cortex of the femoral neck on the anteroposterior radiograph. Normally, it should intersect some portion of the lateral capital femoral epiphysis, but with progressive displacement of the epiphysis, clean line does not intersect the epiphysis. Question number 3. This patient was found to have bilateral slipped capital femoral epiphysis on the radiograph, with right side being slightly more displaced. Which of the following is the best initial treatment for this patient? A. Referral to an orthopedic surgeon within the next week. B. Elective referral to an orthopedic surgeon. C. Crutches and physical therapy. D. Referral today to an orthopedic surgeon for surgical stabilization. And E. MRI of the hips. And the correct answer is D, that is referral today to an orthopedic surgeon for surgical stabilization. Patients with this condition who are able to weight bear are described as having stable slips. Standard treatment for stable slip is surgical stabilization, that is in situ pinning with a single large screw. The patient should be referred to an orthopedic surgeon on the day of diagnosis for evaluation and scheduling of the surgery. There are many documented cases of stable patient progressing to unstable slipped capital femoral epiphysis while awaiting referral or surgery. Now, unstable cases is characterized by inability to bear weight, child refusing any range of motion at the hip joint, and extremities shortened, abducted, and externally rotated. Progression from stable to unstable condition carries a substantial risk of complication, primarily osteonecrosis of the femoral epiphysis or head. The risk of osteonecrosis from stable condition treated with screw stabilization is essentially zero and increases to 20% to 50% if the slipped capital femoral epiphysis progress to unstable. Now, osteonecrosis can result in complete destruction of the proximal femur and hip, causing a permanent limp and early painful arthritis. Thus, patient diagnosed with slipped capital femoral epiphysis should be referred for orthopedic evaluation when the diagnosis is made. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.